Coming to you from the lovely city of LaGrange, this is Panther Talk, your weekly dose of world news, trivia, and campus updates. I'm Aria, and here with me is Eddie Montgomery.
Thanks, Aria. We have a wonderful show coming for you today, including campus events, CE events, and an interview with Adam Roberts, our resident chaplain and director of spiritual life at LaGrange College.
Yeah. All right, so how was your winter break?
I ain't gonna lie, mine was pretty good. I just pretty much caught up on schoolwork. I ain't really do too much. I ain't go home or anything like that. The Serving Scholar program, we had to do a lot of volunteer work over the break, so, we was definitely doing that. But how was your week?
It was pretty good.
It was pretty good.
I went home and I saw my family it was so nice because that was the first time I had actually been home in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So it was really great to just kind of breathe for a minute and be at my house with my family. And I got to see my dog and my cats, which made my heart really happy.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like the night I got home, my dog was standing at the door and he was just losing his mind. And it was so funny.
No, that's dope. That's dope. Shout out to the dogs in the world, too.
Yes.
And cats and all animals, all pets. Now, what did you think about the basketball ending of the season?
Oh, man. Didn't the men lost by 1 point, right?
No, they didn't. They actually lost by a significant amount. We ain't gonna say the amount. The girls, they lost.
That's right.
The
That's
girls
right.
lost by close. I think it was 2 points. But both seasons has ended. Great year for both of the basketball teams, though. I know Coach Jonas. Shout out to Coach Jonas. He won Coach of the Year.
Yeah.
I also had a tying. They tied the most wins in the season. So shout out to the women's basketball team.
Mm-hmm.
The men's basketball team, we had Bashard got Defensive Player of the Year. Zach Hill got first team All Conference. And we had a lot of accomplishments this year for the basketball. So, we're going to come back next year strong and hopefully get that ring. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I know for women's, a girl that lives in my hall, Layla Battle, also got like Rookie of the Year.
Rookie of the Year.
Really awesome.
Sixth Man of the Year, and also first team All Conference.
Yeah.
So
really awesome.
Yeah, shout out to her.
Yeah, tough ending for both teams, but I know they played so hard and they've done so good this year that we just ready for next year. We ready.
I say we gonna make it deep into the playoffs next year for sure. We got some momentum going.
Yeah, absolutely. Go Panthers.
And speaking of Panther, let's talk about lacrosse and their win against Cincinnati.
Yeah. That point difference is crazy.
What, 30-8?
Yeah.
30-8 is that's crazy. Imagine playing lacrosse and you get 30 points.
I bet they were going crazy, and I bet that felt so good.
That's ridiculous. Shout out to the lacrosse team. Let's keep this momentum going, for sure.
All right, so now we're going to move into our interview with the Reverend Dr. Adam Roberts.
Yes, sir. Excited for this one. We go ahead and give another introduction. We have a special guest today. We have Reverend Adam Roberts. He is the director and the chaplain of LaGrange College Spiritual Life here.
Hi.
Well, hello.
Welcome to Panther Talk, man. What's up?
Glad to be here. Yeah.
We happy to have you here. It's definitely a pleasure. I know I have plenty of conversations with Reverend Adam Roberts throughout my past 3 years here. Yes, sir, and I enjoy every single one of them. It always motivates me, always keeps me going and pushes me.
That makes me happy.
So, we glad to have you on the podcast today.
Yeah. Hey, little known facts about the two of y'all. So Eddie works with my wife Holly a lot at Circles of Troup County because that's his service site for Servant Scholars.
Yes, sir.
He and Nico are just killing it with the child care there, and that is a huge part of Circles. So Servant Scholars has provided the child care for Circles of Troup County for years, pretty much the last 8 years that Holly has been working at that organization.
Wow.
And without that help, the whole concept wouldn't work, which is to bring families out and together every Thursday night and help people over the long run. So, yeah, you guys make a huge difference. And
yes, sir.
It's a wonderful thing.
I
and
appreciate
she enjoys getting to mentor y'all, which also means picking on you and joking with you and all this stuff. It's really good. So those guys feel like part of the family. And then Aria, we share United Methodist roots big time. She being from right here in Pine Mountain. And her pastor happens to be one of my great friends for years, Kalen Short, and he is a alum from LaGrange College himself. So lots of great things, and Aria has become cornerstone of Wesley Fellowship on campus. So good stuff all around. I'm with my people.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. For real. For real.
All right. So we have a few questions
All
for
right.
you.
And hey, I feel like a magician. I want to say, like, I did not pick these people from the audience beforehand or what, because I did not pick these questions beforehand. They're gonna be, I'm hearing them for the first time, which is how I wanted it.
Right. Okay. So this first question is kind of broad, but what's your job? Like, tell us what you do.
Oh, yeah. Well, the wonderful thing about this job, from my point of view, and I'll say outright, it is my favorite job I've ever had. So sorry, people out there who I've been pastor to before. I mean, I enjoyed that too. And there will be other things in my life I'll enjoy as time goes on, no doubt. But this job is not a job to me. It's a true way of life, I would say. It's a way of life because I'm in a unique role at the college in that I think of myself as a person who has answered their call to ministry specifically through the United Methodist Church of the North Georgia Conference, where we are. That's a really important part of my identity in terms of my calling and my work here. Through that calling, I am appointed here by our bishop and at the discretion of the college to serve here instead of as a church pastor. So I'm actually in what the United Methodist Church calls an extension ministry. I'm here as an extension of the congregations, the Methodist congregations of the North Georgia Conference. I'm the one here on the ground at LaGrange College to do ministry full-time every day. And it means so many things. I have not had 2 days that are exactly alike in 9 years. And I thrive on that. I really like that. I have a lot of freedom creatively in terms of programs and ministries that we develop. But mostly in every single facet of what I do, I try to think about direct, one-on-one, eye-to-eye contact with students and building those relationships. Because honestly, at the very end of all of it, that is the reason I'm here, in my opinion. Now, that happens through athletics. I have so many great relationships over there, and I'm able to pull together with the coaches whenever they ask. As we went through the incredible tragedy last spring of the losses with our baseball program, the losses of those young men, it just broke all of us to lose Jacob and Stephen, but we pulled together, and I got to be a big part of the pastoral support during that, and that's an honor of my life, you know. So it could range from anything as dramatic and heavy as that to hanging out with students in the dining hall or a conversation on campus as I come across somebody. But, you know, we've got about 6 different spiritual life activities that happen every week, groups that go on through both semesters. The lunch we do on Tuesdays, that's been a tradition here for about probably, I don't really know how long that's been a tradition. It's something like 30 years maybe.
Oh my
I mean,
gosh.
it has gone on way before me.
Time.
Yeah, way
Soul
before
food
me.
on Tuesdays.
Soul Food on Tuesdays. Now, that name came about maybe like 15 years ago. But yeah, it's always been a Tuesday luncheon connected with spiritual life. And I teach a little bit, adjunct, as requested by the religion department. I absolutely love doing that. Lots of pastoral care and counseling and spiritual direction, one-on-one with students, and really anything that's needed. But I get to work across admissions, development, every part of the college. So it's really fun.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. And
Yeah.
I know you covered some of it, but can you please go more in depth into like more services that you provide?
Yeah, well, absolutely. So one thing that we've launched this year that has done well, but I would love to see grow more, is a Sunday night chapel worship service. In the past, since I've been here, we have had weekly worship on campus. But we did that on Tuesday nights as part of the group called Wesley Fellowship. We would have a full-blown worship experience there. This year we made a change to break out that worship experience. It was a pretty significant change. Post-pandemic, it seemed like a time to try it and go to the chapel. Whereas before this was in the Spiritual Life Center, and be there in that sacred space and have a worship service that felt open to any and everybody across group identities or whatever it might be, group organization identities. And so that's something that's important that we're trying to really launch throughout this year and into next year. I think one thing people might not know is conversations around questions about their faith. Or if they're looking for a confidential place, because I do have pastoral confidentiality for everybody. That's a privilege I get to have. So, if they're looking for a place to ask questions or share something about their life that they are not ready to share widely, or they don't know if they have a lot of safe places to have that conversation. That's one of the most important things I get to provide, I think, because students can come by my office and set up with me, because I don't just sit there 8 to 5 Monday to Friday. I am in there a fair amount, but I always get to schedule that with me via Teams or however you want to connect, and we can sit and talk, have a cup of coffee or whatever, and literally talk about anything. And the work of a chaplain is to be absolutely non-judgmental of wherever a person is, whatever they believe, whatever they're going through, whatever their experience has been of religion. Maybe they're cynical, and maybe for a reason, or maybe they're moving through a time of disbelief. And sometimes that is a bewildering but very important part of the journey toward reorganizing a kind of faith in a person's life. And college students ought to be asking questions. That's the time of life you're in between 18 and 22. So it's a healthy thing to come and see if you can stump the chaplain, and I will listen. I'll always listen, and hopefully help you reflect on what it is that you're wrestling with. So maybe that's the most important. Yeah.
I'm going to put you on the spot like
All
I
right.
did with
Do
Dr.
it.
Baxter and
Good.
ask you to give us a little bit of a day in the life of the chaplain of LaGrange College.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about what have I done today. I mean, it really is all over the place. So today I have made multiple contacts with students who are about to go on our spring break service trip.
Heck yeah, man.
That's going to be amazing. Yeah, Aria
I'm
is
so
on
excited.
the list. She's
sir,
going.
yes,
She's
sir.
official. So April 1st, we're leaving out and heading for Fort Myers, Florida. And we're going to be back on April 7th. So students will still get April 8th, 9th, and 10th, part of their spring break vacation. But we're going to spend time down there working with the United Methodist Disaster Recovery agency of the Florida Conference of the church. So Hurricane Ian was a direct hit on Fort Myers about maybe 16 months ago, something like that. They are still in recovery. Things look okay on some of the surface, but I actually was just talking with a person who's down there locally, and they sent me pictures of what some of the marinas look like today, what some of the beaches look like today. A lot of the parks and beaches are still closed, and lots of folks who are in poverty or struggling to make ends meet, who may have been underinsured or any number of things that have happened. They need help getting their homes rebuilt and made safe. So there's lots of volunteers down there who are very knowledgeable. This is sort of a Habitat for Humanity style service where we're going to come in and provide some muscle and strength, and they're going to give us a lot of direction. We may be pulling out floors and walls. We may be constructing some things, but we're going to have a lot of fun. So we're going to stay at a local church, United Methodist Church down in Fort Myers. We'll have some time to go to the beach, do some fun things. We got a couple of good cultural stops in Tampa we're going to make. Ybor City is a historic seat of Cuban culture in Tampa, and for sure we're going to stop there and have a meal and try to take in a little bit of that culture, and lots of historic sites around there. My partner, my co-pilot on this trip is going to be Dr. John Torres. So you might imagine Dr. Roberts and Dr. Torres are going to come up with some ideas.
Interesting.
We should make it back to LaGrange, But, yeah. So anyway, I've done a lot with that today. I've had some critical pastoral care things I've reached out on, including a loss that a student just had. These are the kinds of things that nobody ever knows about. And that's fine. I don't want them to know about it, but that's, that kind of thing happens nearly every day. I've had contact with a couple donors who are supporting the spring break trip, getting ready to make their donation.
Yeah. Pine Mountain.
And I have been working on Fellowship of Christian Athletes. This one I can tell. Lindsay Swearingen, who many of y'all might know, Swerney from the softball team.
My teammate.
She's about to become our very first FCA huddle leader for the softball huddle.
Awesome.
And our goal over this next year is for each team that wants to have a Fellowship of Christian Athletes huddle specific to that team, or maybe across multiple teams. Then maybe monthly we'll come together as a big group across campus. But so trying to resource her for that. Talking with Coach Mel about that and her support of it. By the way, they just swept a doubleheader.
Yeah, they did.
I love softball. I have mostly invested with football and softball in my time here, most directly. And so I get excited when they, hit home runs and do great things.
Yeah. I wish I could have gone yesterday, but I was in stinking rehearsal.
Oh, I got you. Well,
Just kidding.
Excellent rehearsal for your excellent upcoming production.
Excellent rehearsal.
But
My bad, Professor Knoll.
yeah, you didn't hear that, KBK. Yeah, but and now I'm recording a podcast, so there's a little bit of a day in the life.
Yeah. A little bit of day in the life. I like it.
Yeah.
Stay working.
it.
Stay working. Well, we had a question about what are some goals and aspirations that you see in the future about the spiritual life on campus and just you as a person.
Yeah.
How's your time being here?
Oh, man. Great question. So I do think the two biggest initiatives from this year for me are the establishing of that chapel service as something that is part of the consciousness of the student body. And we're not there yet, but we got to start. We got to start small. We got to keep the little ember alive, and it'll grow over time. And that's a spiritual endeavor. It takes a lot of prayer and faith to do that and keep at it. And then Fellowship of Christian Athletes really and truly can be a powerhouse of a concept at this college specifically. I mean, we are almost the perfect ground for it. We had FCA here my first, 6 years serving here, and it was not probably organized exactly in the way that the national FCA group would recommend. I think it always struggled a little because of that. It was pretty informal. It was not team-specific based. We have got a wonderful new support staff person for FCA here in LaGrange, Troup County now, Coach Stephen Tanner. Working with him, we're launching this thing the right way. And so I think next year you'll really see that start to come into its fullness.
Wow.
And can reach a lot of people. And it's going to raise up a lot of leaders. So it won't be me doing it. It'll be a lot of students, a lot of faculty and staff, and a lot of folks involved with FCA in the community. So those are the two first things that come to mind immediately. Spring break trips used to be a centerpiece of what we did in spiritual life every year through 2019. It was COVID that derailed that completely all the way to last year, because when we really needed to be ramping it up in January 2022, if you remember, that was a huge outbreak time, and it looked like, we couldn't say for sure if we'd be going in April. So this is our first year back since 2019, and I think in time, it's a complete restart. It reminds me of my first year here, 2014, when we did spring break. I think we had like 8 students go. Right now we got 8 committed to this year, and that's okay. We can start there. It built up to, I think 2018 was our biggest year, and we had like 23 students go. So so we're gonna build up. We're gonna build up again. I gotta have some witnesses, to the fact that it's a fun, good thing to do. So right now, what I have is hearty volunteers willing to go on the first trip back. Yeah, and then next year you can be witnesses to it being a good thing. Yep. Personal level, spiritual growth for me, that means becoming more loving. I really do believe the core of my theology is God is love. As a Christian person, I believe that love is manifest through Jesus of Nazareth, Jesus the Christ, who is radically loving, mind-blowingly willing to connect with all people across any boundary. So if I can become more like that, that is a number one life goal. I'm on the diversity, equity, and inclusion task force here that's just started. That's a hugely important thing to me as well. So to see that work come to fruition, making LaGrange a more completely, intentionally inclusive campus and community in every sense of the meaning of that word. That's a huge thing to me. So that's a big one.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I love, and I can't wait to see all those things come into fruition. So,
Yeah.
so
Also, I was brainstorming with my man Eddie here. You know, I may need to launch a men's fashion course for young men entering the business world. This is a hobby of mine.
Please.
How to put together your business ensemble on eBay. Podcast sponsored by eBay.
Sponsored by eBay.
Kidding about that one mostly.
Now it would be good though if we was to have something like that on campus.
Yeah,
for sure.
we got to get everybody. We got to get
people.
everybody that poppin' blue blazer that fits just right. That's
Poppin'
it.
Yes, sir.
blue blazer.
Yes, sir.
I love it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, so now we're going to move into some Bible trivia.
Oh goodness. Can I use my phone? That's the first question. No.
I'm sorry, but no.
You definitely gonna stump me on some of this. All right, let's try.
It shouldn't
I
be too
believe in you.
bad.
You've
It
got
shouldn't be
this.
too bad.
Okay, first question is, which apostle shared the gospel with an Ethiopian official on the road to Gaza?
Yes. All right. I definitely know this one. I know the story. The story is awesome because it has to be explained exactly what is this person, this court server, really of the high royalty, and the first real recording. I want to say it's the very first one in the Gospels of somebody truly outside the Jewish faith who comes to faith in Jesus as Jewish Messiah. Can you tell I'm stalling trying to think of the answer? All right, let's see. So it's not Peter. It's not John. Samson. Just kidding. That's not a disciple. I don't know. Remind me. You got to remind me. I know where to look in the book for it.
It's Philip.
Philip. Old Philip.
You had it right with the P. You had it right with the
Philip.
P.
Hey, people, now you know Philip. Look it up.
Yeah.
Y'all can see I actually do have a big sense of humor, hopefully, especially about missing questions. All right, let's do it.
All right, here we go. Who returned to Israel to build the walls of Jerusalem?
Oh, yeah. All right, so we're looking for a minor prophet here. It could be Habakkuk, but I don't think that's it. Samson. Just kidding.
Samson.
Samson's gonna be the answer to everything.
Abraham Lincoln. No, that's not it. Yeah, this is after the Babylonian exile, and it's a big deal to get to come back from that. I feel like somehow in my brain, the name Nehemiah just entered my brain somehow.
Yeah.
I might have had a little help, people. Hey, but I wasn't far off with the minor prophet.
No,
thing.
you wasn't.
No, you
Listen,
absolutely
all the
wasn't.
Baptist students out there are saying, yep, we knew that Methodist pastor didn't know anything about the Bible.
Buddy.
God bless him, because they do know more. They do know more.
It's a lot. It's 66 books. Let's keep it real now. Let's keep it real.
Come on,
now.
I'm gonna get one.
It's
What you got?
66
You gonna
books.
get it.
Is that it?
No.
we got some more. We got some more
Okay.
for you.
Here we go. I think you'll get this one. What were the Babylonian names of Daniel's friends? Come on.
Of Daniel's friends.
Yeah.
His friends?
His friends.
I'm not even sure what friends we're talking about entirely. So, I mean, I know Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego, but
There you
that's
go.
not it. Is
Yeah.
that
it?
That's it.
That's
Yeah,
it.
do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People, I did not even cheat on that one. But I was like, his friends? I guess it's not unfair to call them that. Okay. All right.
You got it. Yeah.
All right, on to the next question. How many kings of Judah were there?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
That is a fairly tough one.
Yes.
All right, now 22 years ago. 22 years ago, I took Old Testament in seminary, and we had to learn this. We really did. There were a lot. How about that? I'm going to say 42.
Whoa.
What we got?
It's 20.
Yeah.
You
know.
just you literally
He said the
said-
number.
Oh, because I said 20
you
years
said
ago.
22, and we were like,
If you think about it, they did serve longer than presidents, so it's 20 kings could be a good while.
That's true.
But I'm impressed with what y'all think I might know. This is good.
Yes. You're killing it, though. Okay. Last question. What was Matthew before he followed Jesus?
Oh, now I know this one. This is good. So, I could wax on and on about this. I'll try not to. That's the problem with a pastor type. So we did actually a few sessions of Wesley ago talk about this, that Jesus' disciples tended to be the unexpected people. Matthew was a tax collector.
Yeah.
And to be a tax collector actually meant that you were working against your own people for the Roman Empire. And the way I describe Matthew to our Wesley students is you need to think of him as a gangster. I mean, if he needed to be violent, odds are he was. And he was all about cheating people out of money and getting rich. And that changes for him, but that's his identity when he started following Jesus. Yeah. The unexpected person. Hey,
you got it right.
I got to be a little chaplain-y on that one.
Yeah, chaplain, a.k.a. Chappie.
Those are good questions. I learned especially the number of kings of Judah. I got that now. That's
42.
It's Jackie Robinson's number. I was like, let's go with 42. Yeah.
Can't go wrong with that. You can't go wrong with that in a lot of situations.
Now, see, baseball trivia, I'd be killing it. But
Hey, next time we'll have you. I'll put it in the notes.
We'll have a mixture of both.
That's right.
That's
right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, thank you so much, Adam.
Right on.
For having.
Hey, I always love to talk about myself. I mean, come on.
Well, thank you so much. We've had
Glad to be
a
here.
good conversation.
Hey, I hope you know, and anybody listening knows, I have a genuine interest in and love for all you students. And the most fun thing for me is to see what you go out there and do after LaGrange College. And that is really fun. And so the relationship does not stop at graduation.
Right.
Period.
Most
Yeah.
definitely.
All
Most
right.
definitely.
Great words of advice to end the interview with. Thanks, Adam.
Thank you so much. Thank you so
You're
much for
welcome.
coming. For real.
So now we're going to move into like some college tips, CE credits, and all that kind of stuff this next segment. So my college tip of this week is to get as many CE credits as you possibly can from the start of your college career, because the sooner you get them all, you won't have to stress about them come your senior year, because you have to have 40 to graduate, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think like all of our ethos professors and stuff have told the freshmen this year to get like 5 each semester just to kind of keep up with it. But I'm killing it right now with my CE credits
For
this
real?
semester. Yeah, I've gotten a lot.
Yes,
so
sir.
far.
Yes, sir. I know I started doing five a semester when I came in. So I've been pretty consistent with that. So yeah, please get your CE credits. Please definitely get those. There are also great events on campus, so it's not like you're just going just to go. Like, you'll also enjoy the events that they have here as well. So definitely get your CE credits. Push for 5, but if you can get more than 5, definitely go ahead and do that. And just go
absolutely.
ahead and knock it out and get it out the way so you ain't even got to worry about it your senior year.
Yeah, because that's one less. I know seniors have a lot going on, and that's one less thing that you need to worry about. And while we're on the topic of CE credits, let's kind of jump into some that are happening this coming week. So we have Yoga on the Hill on Thursday, March 9th at 11:30 in the Jones Zone, right above the Boopy on the first floor of Turner. And then we also have one called How to Be an Exchange Student in Japan on March 7th, that Tuesday, at 11:15 to 12 in the multimedia classroom, aka room 317 in the library.
And then we also have a campus organization fair on March the 8th from 11:15 to 12:15 p.m. on the plaza. And then we also have Surviving the Shift, a conversation with Dr. William Pickard on March the 9th from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. in the Dickerson Assembly Hall.
Yeah, lots of really fun CE credits coming up. Like Yoga on the Hill, I still have not been able to make it there, but I'm going to.
I'm gonna
determined.
push to make it one day too as well.
Yeah.
I love yoga. We used to do it for cross country every Friday before meet, and when I tell you it got my body, it had me feeling good.
Mhm.
Just getting those stretches in and things like that. Like, Yeah, I gotta come to a yoga session.
Yeah, I got to. I'm real stressed out right now, so yoga's like the perfect thing that I need to get all the tension out of my body.
Yeah, definitely go for sure.
Yeah. And so now we're kind of closing out this week's episode. Panther Talk is written by Floyd, produced by Erika Hill and Kelton Hunt. Audio engineering is by Stevie Nicks. Audio editing by KeOnthany Seals. Audio mixing and mastering by the Eddie Montgomery. And then our graphic designs are by Emily Childs and music by Jacob Broom. And a special thank you to Adam Roberts for letting us interview him today. And that's our show. Thank y'all so much for listening.
And goodbye for now, and have a good one, Panthers. Peace.
Bye, y'all.